Ladies and gentlemen, Amber Guyger's appeal is here. So she is returning to the courtroom to try to get a lesser charge. And you know what the sad part is? She'll probably get it. Botham's parents are not getting anything from the city of Dallas, and they played that hug in the courtroom between her and Botham's brother, Brant, a kabillion times all over the world. And you can best believe the media will do their part by showing that lame ass hug over and over again, hoping that it will help her, like they love helping cops in this country, not by very, very biased media. So, ladies and gentlemen, that being said, even with the 10 years, she truly did not get the punishment that she deserved. So this came out on 5 NBC, Dallas, Fort Worth. Amber Guyger's defense files appeal. Wants conviction on lesser charge. Defense attorneys seek to have murder conviction overturned and want a new conviction and punishment for criminally neglect, homicide, not a new murder trial. Amber Guyger's defense team is asking the Court of Appeals to overturn her conviction imposed last year, citing insufficient evidence to prove she committed murder, and instead wants her found guilty of criminally neglect, homicide, with a new punishment. The former Dallas police officer is serving a 10-year sentence for the shooting and killing of Botham Jean inside his apartment in September 2018. Guyger also lived in the same apartment complex, one floor directly below John, and said she mistook him for an intruder when she entered his apartment instead of her own. During a frantic 911 call where she didn't help him at all, just let him lay there and bleed out on the floor. Following the shooting, Guyger told the operator over and over she thought she was in her apartment. Her defense attorneys based this mistake as a reason to find her not guilty of murder last fall. In a brief filed with the Fifth Court of Appeals on August 4th, Guyger's defense says the evidence was legally insufficient to prove beyond reasonable doubt that Guyger committed murder because through a mistake, Guyger formed a reasonable belief about a matter of fact that she entered her apartment and there was an intruder inside. And she, too, her mistaken belief negated the culpability for murder because although she intentionally and knowingly caused John's death, she had the right to act with deadly force in self-defense since she believed that deadly force was immediately necessary, was reasonable under the circumstances. Wow. This is what they're presenting to the court. Murder under the Texas Penal Code requires evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant intentionally or knowingly caused the death of the complainant. While the defense argues that Guyger did knowingly shoot to kill, she was acting out of the belief that her life was in danger, and she was entitled to use deadly force against the apparent danger. Guyger's defense team is now asking that they are allowed to present an oral argument that instead of murder, Guyger be convicted of criminally neglect, homicide, and that a new hearing is scheduled to determine her punishment. During the initial trial and in the appellate belief filed last week, Guyger's defense attorney argued that the lack of obvious floor markings and identical layouts for each floor often led to confusion among residents about which floor of the building they were on. Guyger lived in apartment 1378 on the third floor, while John lived at 1478 directly above her on the fourth floor. Apartment 1378 and 1478 had the same floor plan and kitchen tops, couches, and televisions. All were in the same places, the defense said in the appellate brief. Really? How do you know where her TV was when she moved out? I mean, she can tell you anything at this point. Nobody really got any photos of the inside of her apartment. So she can tell you, oh, yeah, I had that same couch. I had that same TV. I had the same curtains. You wouldn't know. She moved out. And the Dallas police helped her do it. And I don't even think it was like a week later, she moved out. Additionally, doors had electronic locks that used a fob for access, and the doors did not automatically lock when closed. John's door was unlocked, allowing Guyger to enter even after inserting her fob into the door. In the trial last fall, several residents of the apartment building testified that people had accidentally walked into their unlocked apartments after becoming confused. In the appeal, defense attorneys said they interviewed 297 out of 349 residents of the building, and that 23% of the tenants on the floor, 3 and 4, had gone into the wrong door and inserted their fob into the locks. They also added that 71 tenants said they had walked into the wrong apartment on the wrong floor, and that 76 tenants who lived on the third or fourth floor had it unintentionally parked on the wrong floor. Russell Wilson, a defense attorney who is not associated with the case, told NBC5 on Friday that he wasn't surprised to see Guyger's appeal filed and that it's common and expected for convicted people to file appeals. However, it is possible for a defendant to waive their right to an appeal. Wilson, who spent time with the Dallas District Attorney's Conviction Integrity Unit, said what will happen next is the state will have an opportunity to file a written response to the brief, and the defense will be able to file a reply. Then the courts of appeal would take up the issues in the briefs, and this will be a 3-member panel, will render a written opinion on whether she'll be convicted of a lesser charge. Filing the appeal, Wilson said, was a no-loss proposition for Guyger. Either way, her defense asks for her to be acquitted and convicted of a lesser charge, not to be retired. Not to be retried for murder. Okay. So for the murder conviction, Guyger can face between 5 and 99 years, but she only got 10. If she asks for a new trial and was again found guilty, she may be given an even longer sentence. By asking for so they're asking for a lesser homicide conviction. Now, it says if they allow her to get a lesser charge and she gets the conviction for criminally negligent homicide conviction, she could face 180 days to 2 years behind bars. That's it. That's it. And we know the courts and the police departments in America are in cahoots with each other. And I would not doubt it. In fact, I would expect that she is going to get a lesser charge. She is. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where it stands. You know, they have the Court of Appeals document online, and wow. Just think she can get as low as 180 days, but you know, she's already been in there since 2018. And even if they say 2 years, she's damn near done 2 years already. They can let her go. Time served. Wow. They sure have made this criminal system very convenient for some people. And we know this is intentionally. You know, we are charged in two different manners in this country. So somebody like Amber Guyger, like I said, I would not doubt if they do allow a lesser conviction and she just walks free. She doesn't have to do another second behind bars. Y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.